rest of the critters up. So that was something that they were going from carried on to quiet. That to me is what made that one a third base. Now we also know that, I shouldn't say we know, we highly suspect because we've had a bunch of researchers see it, where these critters seem to do a lot of mimicking. Ron talked about it, Paul talked about it. Even though science doesn't say they exist, I can tell you they mimic. And they can mimic a lot of different sounds. That's also what can make this type of research so difficult. Because you can take someone from Kansas City, Missouri that's never left the city, and you can play them a recording that sounds like an owl, but the end is weird. They've never heard an owl. They've never spent time in the woods. And they look at you like, and it isn't always an owl. This first one that's on this, we caught this spring. Now I've heard a coyote give a single call looking for the rest of the crew. And generally after that, it ends up setting off coyotes. Even if they're a mile down the other direction, it'll set off the rest of the coyotes. This one, you're going to hear the coyote call, maybe, and then you're going to hear some knocks. Now, could that be two different animals? Yeah. But when there were no other coyote calls before or after that, it's a highly suspected call. This next clip, I took out an extra researcher with me because he retired here at the first of the year, Mr. Bernie Wall. And I was going to be out of town for a few days, and his granddaughter, Sweetie, 8 years old, she loves to go out Bigfoot. I mean, she'll go out, she didn't want to skip school one day because she thought that us two old timers needed her ears. You know, so she was out, she wanted to record, she heard some of my recordings, that is cool. So I sent my bear bullets home with Bernie, sent the recorder home with the headphones. Hey, go out and see what you can find, let her listen to something. Now, Bernie hadn't made a lot of connections to possibly being within a few hundred yards of his place in the middle of the woods that there'd be Bigfoot. This is another one that's a mimic. And if you listen to it, there sounds like almost like a coon dog type of effect. But there's a second one further distant. Could be though. Now, with that second one in the background, there was a little bit more to it, that's all right, I think we got it covered. And with them being as close proximity to their place, Bernie's got a little Chihuahua dog. Anybody know what Chihuahuas are all about? Bad at, you know, they'll do anything. They ain't scared of nothing. That dog wasn't barking. If that would have been another dog in that woods, got a sneaky feeling the rest of his dogs have been barking. Funny thing is, with that call, I have not really put anything on the forums because, you know, it was just so unknown. Real super day down in Texas. I wanted to tell he was, I guess, researching in Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. He recorded that sound down in Louisiana. I'm still not saying it's not a mimic. It could be mimicking coon dog. But now, I really don't think one in southwest Missouri ran down to Louisiana a couple months later. So I'm suspecting that these guys are picking up noises that they've grown up with and using them as mimics. Now, I'm going to be playing a couple of them here. Both of these happened during the same time frame. Back in May, Bernie and I were out in the woods one night doing a listening post. And we caught 11 minutes of a recording. This is just a couple of clips from it. Again, we didn't know what it was. At first we thought maybe it was coyotes because before that there was a long way distant howl. Okay, that was probably coyotes. And then this thing came in. Now we were set up at camp here, and the noise started over here and ended up over there when it finally quieted down. It just didn't sound for whatever reason, I got them messed up. Sorry about that, folks. Let's play the second one, see if that's any closer. Actually, he lasted for 11 minutes from the time we first picked it up till it quit. Now, I do have my laptop here, and I do have those recordings. If anybody's interested in listening to them, that'd be fine. Whatever this was that was howling, I don't know. I'm suspecting that it was probably one of our critters. There was parts of that clip where there's knocks in it with that type of thing, too. Again, the interesting thing, Wednesday night I had Scotty Plowman and Brian Conroy out in the woods. By golly. Again, I can't say what it is, but we caught it again. I haven't even gone through all that audio yet to find out. So, let's go again. This is another one that I really was wondering if I should even put on here. These markers, by the way, are in the area that I catch these recordings at. I believe that these pointers, as I call them, are pretty important. They seem to take deadfall off the ground and hang in the tree for some reason. And that's where I do a lot of setup, and it seems to be fruitful. The amazing thing about that was at 12 o'clock in the daytime. And there was 20 minutes of that critter. I've had some problems with them. I thought they would mess up my doggone truck because I had things moving around in the back every once in a while. I drive the same truck in the woods and it doesn't go out. After some incidents that we had, I suspected that they were messing with my truck. I have found at times, and I've got it on recorder, where if I'm out in the woods, even walking around during the day, I'm having rocks bounce across my truck. See if I'm at the dog out there. Sit. Okay. And play this. That was part of that same first clip. You notice how it was a lot quieter? You could pull out what was there. I got to thank the folks in Texas for doing that. You know, one thing about the M.A.B.R.C. is that we try to help and help others help us. Larry Parks, he's a fella that'll be up here in a little while. He did the audio here last year, and he had Texas clean up a chunk of audio for him, and I was thrilled with it. So I sent them down and said, hey guys, can you do this? By golly, that was one of the clips that came up. Let's get it. So again, if somebody else is willing to help me with it, I'll be more than happy to let them help. Okay, again, when I put these together, I didn't realize everybody else was going to show these things too. That's another one of them markers out there, okay? It's not uncommon. You've seen some from Alabama. You've seen some from everywhere. They're up in Missouri too. You know, the one on the right-hand side here, again, is one of those that's perfect. It's being held up by a branch, no bigger around my thumb. There's no way that those trees could have fallen, landed on that branch at the same time, or even at separate times, and not broke that branch. Now, when we go out and we do a lot of our research at night, we'll go out and we're going to set up camp. Sometimes we decide to make ourselves a little fire, do a little cooking. This night I had Josh, Bernie, myself out. And one thing that I always take out, because I drink a lot, is coffee. Well, we ended up getting something that was real fine ground. Smells great, but I hate chewing on it that long, so we don't use it for in the house. But I put it out there, start cooking the coffee, it puts on a lot of aroma. That night, Josh was nice enough to bring some bacon. Had that on the doggone fire, stinking up the place. Bernie brought a bunch of hot dogs, we ate and had a good old time. That night, we had a lot of movement around us. Camp had some rocks put in. There was one time where it sounded like it was possibly that they walked up and thumped one of his trucks. We did have that on Memorial Day too, where one came up and slapped the side of the truck. And that night, even Josh made the statement, something didn't feel right that night. And you know, Josh joined the M.A.B.R.C. about the time I did. And he's close enough that a lot of times I'll end up with stuff. Hey Josh, I can't make heads or tails of it. He'll come up and he spent a lot of time in my area. Between the two of us, you know, we've kind of grown in this together, and it has just been a lot of fun. This night, after things went dead for about an hour, Bernie and Josh said, well, hey, let's go for a walk. Yeah, that's fine. I don't feel like walking in the middle of the night. I'll stay here with the truck. You guys go for a walk. They went down. They were gone for about 20 minutes. About a quarter mile down, I suppose, by the time that things started happening. And things started to change a little bit. Typical night. Ain't no noise. Nice and quiet. You got the headphones on, listening, trying to pick up the subtle movements. Nothing. I thought, yep, Josh and Brady were right. They left. Might as well back up and go home. They were on their walk. And things started to do a little changing. This is what you normally hear a lot of when you do audio. Nothing. Now I'm hearing some movement. Now I'm getting a little excited. Got the headphones on, listening to this. Keeps getting closer. You know, when we're out in the woods, we don't use lights as a rule. We try to use red light. Oh, look at that. I tried that trick. You guys done that? Cough. Hopefully. Well, what happened is, again, I coughed. It didn't go away. So now I'm going to call these guys back because I'm starting to get a little spooked. I'm here in the dark. The fire's dead. Listening intently. I coughed. It didn't go away. If it was a deer, it should have went away. Come to find out, these guys are about a quarter mile away. They walk a lot faster than I do. And I'm getting nervous, getting more nervous, trying to figure out, is this bipedal or is it something on four legs? radios out there live? Again, more and more noise, and it's not in any one place. Most of it's back over here behind my truck, but some of it sounds even closer. And again, I've asked the guys back. Right there was one of those things that you heard about today, rocks. Landed not too far from the truck. Now I'm a little bit more nervous. I kicked on the red light portion of the light, trying to look around a little bit, see if I can find some eyeshine. Before this, I was kind of thinking maybe this was just an armadillo. And when the guys come back, I'm going to feel pretty stupid. They called back and let me know where they were at. Because I had the headphones on, I couldn't hear the radio. Now I'm back to kind of thinking that maybe my mind is playing tricks on me because I'm looking around and I'm not seeing eyeshine with the red lights on. Again, starting to feel like maybe I'm going to be a fool. Something's going to come up here in just a little bit. I want you to listen carefully because it's kind of important, this whole encounter. That was that rock being placed on top of my truck, and I was sitting by the front wheel. Now, again, it's not a big rock. It isn't a big rock at all. But at 11:30 in the morning or at night, you're pitch dark by yourself, and you got the headphones on from the parabolics, that's scary. Needless to say, at this point, things changed a bit. Again, that's the size of the rock that I took out that truck that night. Not very heavy. Needless to say, yeah, you can hear that I wasn't having fun much anymore. And I'm thinking now that they made their point, they should start backing off. See here, they haven't. You know, and part of me is thinking these guys are getting to be mean. Oh, look at that, into another rock. It landed by the parabolics. I'm looking around this way, turning, trying to find some eyeshine. And I'm not finding it. Turn a different direction. And the rocks continue to come. That one went between where I was standing and the hood of my, or the windshield of my truck, right between us. Folks, I'm scared. This ain't getting no fun anymore. I finally get to the point I can't handle it no more. One thing that was... Yeah, I'd had enough. One thing that Mr. Don Stockton, as well as the rest of these folks from M.A.B.R.C. has said, white light will drive them away. You don't have to do anything but light it up with white light. So that's what I did. The strongest flashlight I have, I am shining it around. What the heck is it? I still ain't seen these critters. Every time I look over here, they make a noise over here. I look over there, the noise is back. I'm running around like a damn top, trying to figure out what's going on with this. I know these guys are coming back, and again, about 4 minutes time frame, they're back. You know, I know they're coming back. They're going to save me. You know, come on, guys. This is the longest time frame of my life that makes good research because I am scared. You know, I'm thinking, are they trying to hurt me? Why are they throwing rocks position where we need the audio to review the details. Later on, I come to realize they didn't play with us all night. They just wanted to see if I was still there. Once they found out I reacted like a chicken, they wanted more of it. And that's when they started pelting my truck with rocks every time I came out. If they don't think I'm at the truck or they think I'm hiding again, they're tossing rocks bouncing out the hood. As this gets towards the end, now it's got a ways to go, but as it gets towards the end, one other thing that they normally do, they kind of use what's like a diversion tactic. It's been touched on here where, again, Papa's over there. If you're getting too close to Junior, Papa's going to make some noise. And I do believe that's what was going on that night, is that every time they make noise over there, I take my focus off this place. Now, things have pretty well calmed down at camp by this time. But I'm hearing my own heart beating more than anything else. The guys call back. They tell me that they're coming in.
Well, it says to keep the line, it's on the down. It's going back to the milk.
You know, they're coming back. Thank God. Get here. You know, again, I freaked myself out this time. There's no two ways about it. When they get a little bit closer to camp, you're going to hear them talk that they see my light. As I'm doing this top rotation spin, trying to figure out what's going on, make sure they're not coming too close. And you'll hear something that I'm 99% sure is not their footsteps coming back into camp. Then you're going to hear Bernie make a statement about there's one behind us. There's something behind us. Again, diversion tactic. For whatever reason, I believe they wanted us to focus behind them instead of where camp was and what was around them. Those slappings, those hits, whatever. The microphones were not going towards where they were coming from. You'll hear Bernie. Again, it was just like when they came back to camp. Now I've got these other two big brave fellers coming to save my little butt. And they say, there's something behind me. You know, instinctively, what do? All three of us swung over one of their white lights. And after that, one climbs. Just to prove I'm strong, big. Don't freak me. I spent there 3 minutes out there on the court. I didn't come back to we don't know enough about these animals to know what they do. We're learning. We're out here all the time doing it. It's great groups, again, like Texas, B.F.R.O., M.A.B.R.C., and other researchers. I study other research sites for what their audio is. And again, Dan Courtney has recordings over in his area in central Illinois. The Super Dave down in Texas. Me up in this neighborhood. We're catching the same thing. Now, that only tells me that there's the same animal out there. I thank you for your time, and again, I do want to say thank you to Don Stockton. Without him helping me build these parabolic mics, my homemades, I wouldn't have gotten to this roast today. Over here we've got a table where I've got one set of the doubles that I've got set up. Anybody want to listen to the audio I've got? I mean, I've got 20-minute sections of that one. 3 months ago, it's available to you. Texla, thank you for doing the trimming for me. That means a lot to me. I don't have that ability. And especially everybody in the M.A.B.R.C. Dave and Roy, DW, the whole crew have taken me into their wing. You know, I don't move around so doggone good, and hey, there ain't much I can do, but these guys have shown me directions I can be of a lot of value to this community. And you know what? It's because of folks like you that we keep going out and doing this. We don't like to be kicked down by people that say, it don't happen. You're nuts. To see folks out here in the audience because that's how all this can make a lot more sense to me. Thank you.
Okay.